It's Tuesday, July 10. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Taxi operators are being asked to be patient as they agitate for a fare increase in light of rising fuel costs. Alan Blair, president of the National Council of Taxi Associations in KARTEL, says members have been visiting the office to request that the association apply for a fare increase. However, Mr. Blair said KARTEL is still in the internal consultation phase, which is looking at the impact of the cost of insurance and spare parts, as well as the overall challenges being experienced by taxi operators. Mr. Blair added that consultations will be sought with the minister to discuss the high cost of operation faced by taxi operators. Transport Minister Robert Montague recently told the media that international transport network company Uber is coming to Jamaica. In making the announcement, Minister Montague urged stakeholders in the industry to up their game if they intend to compete. Speaking last week at a discussion forum in Kingston on proposed changes for the transportation sector, the minister urged local stakeholders to keep apace with technology to ward off foreign saturation. In the meantime, sources say the application is currently under review by the local authorities, along with 2 other local applications for Uber-like businesses. It's understood that the application was made sometime last year. The controversy surrounding Petrojam continues, and the opposition is insisting that Dr. Andrew Wheatley be relieved of the science and technology portfolios. Opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips says his side will review its collaboration with the government if the Prime Minister fails to act. In addition, he says failure to act could affect matters such as the Vale Royal talks. Dr. Phillips says the decision to relieve Dr. Wheatley of the energy portfolio while leaving him with cabinet responsibility for other areas of ministry raises more questions than answers. The opposition leader pointed to allegations of corruption, nepotism and cronyism at the state-owned oil refinery, adding that the Prime Minister's failure to hold Dr. Wheatley accountable is bringing the office into disrepute. There have been several calls from various groups, including the National Integrity Action, for Dr. Wheatley to be sacked from the cabinet. Defense attorneys representing dancehall artist Vybz Kartel and his fellow murder convicts were on Monday granted permission by the appeal court to introduce fresh evidence to challenge their 2014 conviction. Court of Appeal President Justice Dennis Morrison, along with Justices Patrick Brooks and Frank Williams, ruled that the court would be allowing attorney Bert Samuels, who represents entertainer Sean Campbell, otherwise called Sean Storm, to tender new evidence. The evidence is a statement from key witness Lamar Chow given to the police on August 24, 2011, that he had arrived at Kartel's house at 8 p.m., which is contrary to evidence he had given during the trial that he had arrived about 5:30 p.m. The court is also allowing an affidavit from attorney Kimberly Whitaker, accompanied by 2 statements from jurors who were involved in the murder trial. Incarcerated DJ, whose given name Adidja Palmer, was sentenced to life imprisonment in 2014 for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams on August 16, 2011. Campbell, Andre St. John and Kira Jones were also convicted for the murder. Regionally, we have some good news. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, is forecasting an important boost to Latin America and the Caribbean's currently low fish consumption. A new report published this week says the region will see a considerable increase in total fish consumption, 33%. The report, called the State of World Fisheries and Agriculture 2018, SOFIA, notes that this is particularly important for the region since it is currently a solid net fish exporter and producer of aquaculture, but has the lowest global per capita consumption, only 9.8 kilos per year. In 2015, the region only consumed 6.2 million tons of fish, lower than all other regions except Oceania. SOFIA forecasts that by 2030, the region will see a 24.2% growth in fish production, fisheries and aquaculture, from 12.9 million tons to 16 million tons. In sports, Jamaica will be sending a mammoth contingent of 186 competing athletes to the 23rd staging of the Central American and Caribbean Games, the CAC, which will take place in Colombia from July 19 to August 3. The CAC Games, which are the oldest continuing games in the region, were first held in Mexico in 1926, and Jamaica had the privilege of hosting the games back in 1962 at the National Stadium in Kingston. As the Jamaica Olympic Association continues its thrust aimed at inclusion, the country will participate in 3 additional sports for the first time, bringing to 16 the total number of sporting disciplines being contested. Jamaica and Chile has signed a declaration of intent for cooperation in sports. The declaration was signed following the 39th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM. Over the next year, Jamaica and Chile will share expertise in sports under a declaration of intent. The agreement, which was signed on Saturday, July 8, will see local coaches traveling to Chile to conduct sports clinics in track and field, while Chilean coaches will come to Jamaica to conduct training in gymnastics, field hockey, and tennis. The signing followed bilateral talks between Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, and President of the Republic of Chile, His Excellency Sebastian Piñera, at the Jewel Grand MONTAGUE Resort and Spa in St. James. State Minister for Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. and Chile's Undersecretary for Foreign Affairs, Alfonso Silva Navarro, affixed their signatures to the document. Speaking at a press briefing following the signing, Mr. Holness said Jamaica and Chile have enjoyed excellent bilateral relations, noting that sports is one of the many areas of cooperation benefiting both countries.
We have developed these active relations through the pursuit of cooperation in a myriad of areas, including trade and investment, language and diplomatic training, disaster risk reduction, security, capacity building, and sports, among other things.
President Piñera welcomed the agreement, noting that his country has much to learn from Jamaica in the area of sports, particularly in terms of running with greater speed.
In terms of sports, we have so much to learn in sports from Jamaica. We want to run as a Jamaican. Someday we will be able to achieve that. That's why this commitment to help each other in terms of how to share good practices and good experiences in sports will be extremely helpful, not only for the quality of life, but also for the quality of our health and the quality of our participation in so many different sports events.
Chile and Jamaica established diplomatic ties more than 50 years ago. President Piñera was a special guest for the 39th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, which took place at the Montego Bay Conference Center in St. James from July 4 to 6. And that's the news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.